What's going on YouTube? This is Jabber Tech. Today I'm going to talk about Silicon Dust's two new products and why I'm not liking where the company's going. These two products are the HD Home Run Servio, which is this 2TB drive, and then you have the Scribe Duo, which has a 1TB drive with two tuners built in. And then I'm also going to mention about the Recast, the Amazon Recast, and why you probably should not buy either one of these devices, and you should probably stick with HD's Home Run's old TV tuners. Now this is the Extend. I've been using this for about a year. I have two in my household, and I can highly recommend it. If you haven't seen my video, check this link that popped up, and it'll also be down in the comments below. But let's go ahead and talk about the state of free TV, cutting the cord, and how you're actually just cutting the cord to remain tethered. A little background for you guys before we get into this. I've been using Plex Pass with the HD's Home Runs Extend, and I could not be happier. I paid for a lifetime subscription for the Plex Pass, and it's really great. You can watch live TV from in your house, outside of your house. Plex software, it basically has an app for every device out there. So whether you're on iOS, Android, Linux, Windows, whatever the case may be, chances are Plex has made software for that platform, so you're really good to go. And why I like this, you're not tethered to any particular service or any particular device. Whether you have an Apple TV, a Fire TV, NVIDIA Shield, whether you just watch it on your Windows device, you can watch live TV and access all your recordings all in one spot. Now the only problem with this solution is it's not an all-in-one type of solution. You do need a server running 24/7, or you do need to build a NAS box to handle all these recordings, and for some people that's just a little bit more of a task than they want to do. So when Amazon announced the Fire TV Recast a couple months ago, I was super excited. I was all in until I found out what the limitations were, so I canceled my pre-order, and then Silicon Dust announced a similar solution but at a significantly smaller package. This is the Scribe Duo, which is a 2-tuner solution with 1TB built in, and then you have a sister product called the Servio, basically a server with 2TB and no tuner. So in theory, you can have 3TB of recordings all in a very small package. The problem with these two devices, while it seems great and I was really excited until I wasn't, and the problem with Amazon's Fire TV Recast is that they keep you to their own ecosystems. Let me talk about the problem with Silicon Dust's two new solutions here that does not exist with their old tuners. Is as of the announcement, and hopefully it will change, maybe if a lot of us complain they will change it, but you're tied down to their ecosystem. You do have to pay for their $35 a year DVR service, and you have to use it with their platform here, with their software here. Their DVR service does not offer commercial skipping at this time. That's a problem for me because I don't like commercials, so I would rather wait till my show has aired and watch it without commercials just to save me that 10 or 15 or 20 minutes from the program. To me, that's worth it. To me, that's worth paying for the Plex Pass. For me, that would be worth the $35 a year. Another problem with Silicon Dust software is you can't stream live TV from outside your home network. Being able to watch live TV from outside my home network is something that made me actually buy one of these and the Plex Pass in the first place. Because what if you're out and your favorite football team is playing, but you can't get the game for some reason? You can just watch it on your phone or basically anywhere you are because Plex makes software for everything. Say you're out in a super remote area or you're on vacation, you can still watch this. Now, I was in Mexico a couple weeks ago, and of course, they do not provide local channels from New York, but no problem. I just pulled out my phone and I was able to watch my TV shows and live TV in the morning to catch up with the news and whatever else was going. So for me, that was definitely worth it. But with Silicon Dust software, you cannot watch live TV outside of the home. So for me, while this is a great all-in-one solution, while this makes it a lot simpler for the average person to just buy plug-and-play type of solution, it's not the best solution, and that's why I would say hold off on these two new devices unless you're okay with those limitations, unless you're okay with not being able to watch live TV remotely, or you're okay with not cutting commercials out of your recorded programs. If you're okay with those two things, these products are absolutely amazing. I'm not saying that they're bad products, but for the most people who want to cut the cord, it's not the best solution. And if Silicon Dust changes their mind and actually offers support for Plex, I will be purchasing both of these right away, immediately, because for me, this is just a better solution than leaving my power-hungry server on 24/7, and it's just a little bit easier, a little nicer, and you don't have to worry about if your computer crashes. If you need to restart it, you're kind of out of luck and you won't have your programs. these will be on 24/7 doing their thing. So Silicon Dust, if you're listening to me, I think you did a great job. These are awesome products. I really want you to allow us to use our own software, to use whatever solution, because that's the whole point of cord cutting, to be able to do what you want with your over-the-air channels. And that's why I will be sticking with the HD Home Run Extend. Now, I really like this product. I'm not pushing it one way or another, but for me, this is the best solution when paired with Plex. It's just an all-in-one solution. And if you put in a little time to setting up your server or a NAS box, it works great with no issues at all. And that brings me to the next tethered device, which is the Amazon's Fire TV Recast. Now, for such a large device, now I have not seen it in person, but I have seen videos, and this box is huge, especially when compared to Silicon Dust solutions. This box is like, I don't know, this is like a reference device. This is something that Amazon just said, let's throw it out and see what happens. I'm sure the second gen will be a little bit smaller. There's no reason that this had to be this big, but the problem with the Amazon Recast and why I canceled my order immediately, because it has the same tethered limitation as Silicon Dust's new products. They want to keep you tied down to their ecosystem, and they want to make that money from you, which is fine from a business standpoint. But if you're talking about cord cutting over-the-air solutions, it should be an every platform type of device. The problem with the Recast is it keeps you tethered to Amazon services, to Amazon products. So if you have Fire TVs all throughout your house, this is a perfect product for you. But it also does transcode everything to 720p, whereas Silicon Dust solutions will give you 1080p without any problem. This one transcodes everything and limits it to 720p. If you're fine with that, that's great, but I like to watch my shows at the highest quality possible, and that's why the Recast kind of sucks. You only get 720p, and it doesn't even record 1080p and transcode it to 720p. It records 1080i. Now, who actually uses 1080i these days? My local channels are broadcasting 1080p with Dolby, so I don't know what Amazon was thinking about this, but again, the tethered aspect of this is you have to keep those Fire TVs at all times. If you switch to Apple TVs, or you switch to NVIDIA Shields, or you switch to an Android box, this is not going to serve you at all. You're not going to be able to use this. You do have to keep using those Fire TVs, and you can watch from an Android device, but that's not the same solution as like the Extend, where you can watch it on any platform, or even if you switch to an Apple TV, this will still work with Plex. Plex has an app for pretty much every device out there. If you switch your home, say you're tired of Fire TVs and you want a different solution, you'd have to sell this box and start again. This is how companies now are keeping us within their own ecosystem. And again, if the Silicon Dust software was a little bit better, I'd have no problem with that. But that's not the case, and that's not the case with the Fire TV. You're limited to Amazon's products, so I don't recommend this unless you're going to stick with Amazon Fire TVs forever. If you stick with them forever, then you can do that, then you can keep it. But for right now, if you want to look towards the future, if you want to buy these boxes, because they are not cheap, guys, if you want to buy these boxes and be able to use them for the years to come, you don't want to be limited to Fire TVs, because something always comes out that's a little bit better. And that's the same with Silicon Dust solutions. I don't want to have a solution that does not allow me to watch live TV from over the air anywhere I am. And something else with these Silicon Dust products, I do not know if you'll be able to watch those recordings on Plex. So that would be a way to watch it from outside your house on any device. But I don't know if you can do that. There really hasn't been anywhere that states you can use this with Plex. They pretty much say that you do have to use their software. If you guys have found something out there, I haven't been able to find it, where they say you can watch your recordings from Plex. I would love to see that information. But for right now, guys, I still recommend purchase the old tuners, and I say old because they're not that old, because this gives you the most unlimited, untethered, over-the-air solution possible. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it cleared things up a little bit. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. And the whole point of being a cord cutter is you don't want to be tethered, you don't want to be tied down, you don't want to have those monthly fees, and you don't want to be stuck with one solution. That's the whole point of being a cord cutter. You want absolute freedom, and that's why I don't know where these companies are going with this. I mean, I know where they're going with it. They're going to the bank with all our dollars and cents. But if you're calling yourself a cord cutting solution, don't keep us tethered to your products and services. That's keeping us on the cord, not off the cord. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.